Yeah, how you going, guys? So today we're going to put like a unit in this like BMW. So we're going to put one of our Q series like units in it. Now this is like an E90. These head units should be from 2005 to 2012 around about. If your dash sort of looks like this, then this is the unit you're going to need with this little thing in here. Now there's a couple different options, like depending, there's so this is like a CIC model, and I'll show you what that means, but it's like basically like sort of plug. And to tell what sort of model you have, we'll like normally ask for a picture of that, and obviously your normal dash, and then also a picture of sort of what the interface screen looks like, the main menu screen, so you can see. This is the factory unit. So our Q series piggybacks off this unit still, because we have to keep that going. So that's what we'll ask for there, what that menu looks like, because we have to piggyback off, because obviously you've got a bit of like stuff going on here, and you keep your good sound, noise speakers, and you just get like a new like Android screen up here that gives you CarPlay and like whatnot. So we'll go through and put this in now. So the first thing that's going to come off is this whole like silver bit. You just get your trim tool in there and you can unclip that. I'll show you how. So we include the trim tools in the pack. So if you get your tool under here, and you'll find it will pop off. So I just came in from here and I like sort of levered that off, and then like once it's off, you can just actually like use your hand and pull along here, and you'll see it all comes off like that. Just give it a little like wiggle. It is sort of plastic, so don't be too hard on it if you don't want to break it. And what you got to do is unpull the plug from the start. That should give you a little bit more, and then you've got these ones here as well. So you can actually, if you just push them like the back, this here will come out, and then you'll be able to get to these two plugs here. And they just come out as well. There's little latches on them, like that. So that comes out, and this whole thing pulls off. So all fairly straightforward there. Just check that you didn't. I did like sort of lose one here, so this here didn't actually pull out. So just like pull it out with your hands, with your trim tool there, and put it back in. You can see they use these like silver ones here. So you can see I put this back in because you will need power. So it's just got two clips. It just like pushes out the front of that trim you took off before. Then you've got this part here, just comes out. Trim tools or hands can pull that out, and you've just got a few plugs on the back here. These are little cam level ones, so if you just go up and back, they will come out. It's a pretty cool design. Sorry, you like push that down actually, and then they flip over the back of it. So push that down and flick the grey thing back. This little part down here should pop out as well. Your trim tool in there. Same thing on the other side here. And that'll pop off like that. This here just needs to thread back through here. And then you've just got two Phillips heads on either side, and we can pull out the main unit. And this whole thing here just slides out, and it's just got a big plug in the back and a few other little plugs. That's a big plug in the back there that just has a cam lock. I'll show you that in a second. Now on the top here you got two Torx screws in there. Just need to pop out like both of those, and then we can actually pull this whole screen out. Those two come out like that, and then the screen just pulls out fairly easily. Now it'll be tight, so you got to unplug these before you pull it all the way out. I'll show you in the back here. It's got a couple plugs that have to come out there. And there's this screen out there. So that's actually what they mean by that like CIC connectors, that little red 4-pin one. So to get out these, this one just has two screws on either side, and this one here, you just have to push down this tab. You can use your trim tool to help you get in there too. So let's sort of lever it out. And if you sort of pop the cable out of one like these, it gives you a little bit more. You can pull it out a bit further to help you get it out. So we'll just cover what you get in the kit. So obviously you get the screen and what fascia, a few plugs in the back here, GPS at 4G, a GPS antenna, external speaker that keeps your beepers and stuff going. I like external microphone, our 2 USBs, so that run those down somewhere, our Wi-Fi antenna, and our main adapter harness here, and trim removal tools, and like a USB to run other updates if you ever need to. Now you will also get a 1080p camera in this kit, because this car doesn't have like reverse camera, so we'll be putting one in, so that will be included as well. Now we just want to make sure things are going to work here. So you grab your adapter harness, grab our cable here. I'll pull this out of the way, just a bit more room. So in here you've got these two little plugs here that actually have to come out, so you just need to put a small little lever under here, just have to pull it up, and then you can pull out these two, so that comes out like that. Now the reason why we do that is because we have to put it back into our one here. So what we do is we grab this and we just plug it into the same place it came out of, push it all the way in so it goes click. So that's all clicked in there now. I'll make it a bit easy so you can see. So clipped in that, and then we take this and we plug this into here. So just make sure it all lines up and it looks okay. This is like the cam lock plug, so to take this out you just squeeze and flick it up, and you have to have it a bit open when you go to put things back in. Because obviously it has to click in, just like that, and then you slide that down and that all clips in. So that's on there. What you've got is, so this will go back into our factory unit, and then you've got this cable coming up the top here, which is going to go into our screen. So we normally suggest you just plug it in and test that everything's working before you go too much further. So that goes into here, this here plugs into here. I know this is going to work because we tested this earlier, but just to make sure in your other model that it is working. Now you obviously want to run this cord up the back here somewhere, because obviously this has to shoot back in. Now it isn't too bad on this model because you have quite a bit of room up here. On some of these BMWs it can be a real pain because it's so tight, and that if it's a tight option, then sometimes you just have to go through a different way. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong spot before. The speaker plugs up here, so you can plug that into here. Your other plugs on here, you've got a reverse in, which we won't need to use, but you've got a 12 volt power source, so when we put the camera in, we'll run the power from here. Now you do that because if you try and run off your reverse lights on these cars, you can create some issues. You need to put a filter in there normally, so we just take the power off here. You've got your microphone here, so that's what we'll test out again, and that's about it. So we'll go and chuck it in and see if it all works. You've got an extra front camera here if you want to run a second camera, which is not necessary on this car, so I'm just going to take it out. But if you are running a second one, you can. So obviously that plugs into here. I won't worry about the 4G and GPS just yet. All I'll do is I'll take this plug here as well and plug it into our plug. So I'll come up so you can see. So I've just plugged in those two basically, and now we'll just slot this in and we'll just test out how we're all going. So we got power, it's always a good sign, but I didn't do the whole thing, so I forgot to do something. I forgot to put that unit back in, so we've got to put that plug back in. So you can put all those plugs back in that unit, and we'll just throw the key in, and you can see you can see the doors are saying they're open, and CarPlay's hooked up here. You can see CarPlay's hooked up. Now we have no sound coming in, so what we have to do down here is come back into here, and we can go, see if you're in here, this is the home screen, and that sort of takes you like back into your old screen here. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that, the reflection's not ideal, sorry, like that. And what we have to do is we've got to just make sure auxiliary is activated, which it is there, and we touch this, comes back into here. You can see different things. Z-Link is the app that we want to use here, and you can hear our sound coming through now. And you can see our steering controls are working. Sorry, our steering wheel controls are working. So that's all good. So it's powered up. We've got steering wheel controls. Other thing we will do is we'll put it in reverse, make sure reverse is triggering. And then what I like to do here too is I like to make a call with the mic out and then with the mic in. It's best to do that when the car's running, because then you get a real idea of it. So I just made a test call sort of with and without the external mic. It did sound a bit better with the external mic. Clarity was slightly better. So we will sort of run it in this case. And because this is a convertible, probably want to try and keep it down underneath here, so we'll probably end up running it into the corner here. So just run the external mic. I popped off this with the trim tools. You don't have to take it all the way off, just pop like the top off. You can put the wire down here, and then I popped it out and I tucked it underneath our door trim here, and then it came under here, so you can actually see it here. Probably tucked it away a bit, and then I just undid the sort of three screws on here to pull this down, and then the wire comes under there, and then I used just a coat hanger or something. I put it down here, and it comes out the bottom here. I taped the mic onto it and I pulled it back through, and then I tucked it along here and up the back there. So that's your external mic. So that's how you run that into there. Here's our camera here. The general plan is going to be, because it's a convertible, you got to obviously make sure you sort of run the wires where there's other wires. The general plan is going to be like to pop off this, run the sort of wire down here, along here, through here, under here, down into the trim, up through here. Same place I took the microphone and put it to here. Now I'm just going to connect the green one to this 12 volt CCD power. Now in our kit we have a little connector which I didn't grab, but I'll show you. Scotch connectors. You can connect it up however you want. We do put these in the kit though. Chuck it through one of those, give it a squeeze down. That's that. Just obviously I'll make sure you put the other one in the correct one. The one on the side. Just double check that again, so when these two plug in, it'd be the one on the side. Cool. And these just plug in together like so, and then the RCA goes into there. And then what we'll do is we'll just actually power the car up, and what we'll do is we will just put it in reverse. So you can see there's no signal there, so I just want to check we are getting enough power on that green wire I just hooked up. So you can see, I stripped them in like to make sure I had the connection. So you can see we've got our reverse image coming in there. So that's all good. So just make sure you hook everything up. So for 4G antenna, GPS, our sort of main plug, 2 USBs. We've got this like the main screen connector, a reverse camera, external mic. Then you can go and slot this back in. Get that bottom piece in there first. Now if it's not going back, it's because all your sort of wires will be too tight, so you just got to sort of tuck those out of the way a bit better. So we put that back in and put this screws in. It can be quite tight, so just make sure you get all the wires out of the way. You can tuck them down the side, or there's a gap in the middle at the back, and you just got to sort of push this back as you screw it in. So top screen's in. Check once you put it in that it's all still like working okay. This auxiliary, I'll run out the backs and want to run it along the sort of center console here. So now if you just go and get all you had these two plugs, remember, you've got our big cam lock one. Make sure you plug everything back in. Make sure you put all your plugs back in. Double check that every time, because if you forget one, it's a real pain to take it back out. And then all these plugs, you will find you should have it. There's quite a bit of sort of room on this one, but you might just have to wiggle them around a bit. You got those two there, so put your two screws back in, and so this goes back in reverse. Nice and warm here today. It's like 39 degrees, which is always good. Just remember how this went in. These run up through here and it sits in that little bit there. So you just get that in how it should be. This is all this. It's all plastic as before. Make sure it all lines up and don't force anything that doesn't feel like it's gonna fit, because it's probably in the wrong slot if it's not fitting easily. The aircon panel here with all your plugs, I think. Came and went down here because it's on this side, like so. These little cam lock ones have to be open as you put it back in, and there's that. Tuck those through into their little home. It all clicks back in. Got our aircon ones that'll go on last. I do always like to check that. I normally check before I put it all back in that you got like power and everything was going. It just shows that everything's okay. So that's it. And then obviously everything just goes back in reverse. So you can pull this out, and then you pull out this and put your switch back in here. Got your aircon ones in as well. Goes through that hole there, like so. These two into here. Oh, that's not the right one.